Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And to all my brothers out here preaching this truth to you, I say Shalom. This is a Montazar from the Chicago camp, coming back at you again with another lesson entitled, Stay Out of Folks' Business. So, So the first thing I want to discuss is two shootings. All right, and let's see if you can figure out what's the common denominator. All right, the first article is May 17th. Okay, and the second article is May 7th. So within 10 days of each other. All right, let's see what it says. It says man shot while trying to intervene in robbery outside Wicker Park bar. It says, here in Chicago, a man was shot and critically wounded while trying to stop two women from being robbed early Friday outside Estelle's Cafe and Lounge in Wicker Park. The women, 33 and 35, were standing outside Estelle's just before 4 a.m. when a silver sedan pulled up and two people demanding their property in the 2000 block of West North Avenue, police said. A 31-year-old man tried to intervene and was shot in the torso, police said. He was transported to Stroger Hospital, where he was listed in critical condition. The suspects drove off westbound on North Avenue. There were no other injuries reported. Area 5 detectives are investigating. All right, so two women were in the process of getting robbed, and he tried to save them. Okay. So the next one, teen 16 shot to death in Soho, was killed trying to break up fight, says, I guess, the police. All right. So this was May 7th. Soho, Manhattan. Okay. First story was in Chicago. The second story comes out of Manhattan. The 16-year-old boy was acting as a peacemaker while trying to break up a fight when he was shot and killed in Manhattan on Tuesday, police said. The shooting happened around 2:30 p.m. in Urban Plaza, a courtyard located across from 233 Spring Street between Varick Street and 6th Avenue in Soho. Makai Brown, a 16-year-old from Brooklyn, was shot and killed during the incident, according to the New York Police Department. Okay? So the title of this lesson, very simply, is Stay Out of Folks' Business. Okay? I remember in high school, one of my high school teachers, a biology teacher, on day one, she says to the entire class, she says, if you can't fight, you need to keep your mouth closed. Okay? Because if you get into a fight, they're going to be whooping your ass till the police get here. Because I don't break up fights. That was on day one. And I remember that. That was freshman year of high school. She said, I don't break up fights. So if you can't fight, keep your mouth closed. She says, I don't get in other people's business. I never forgot that. So, I mean, that was quite a long time ago, but that stuck in my mind. She says, I don't break up fights. Just recently, I'd say probably about 2 years ago, I was in a Jewel parking lot with my son. We were about to go in and grab a couple things out of Jewel's. And so I see this nigger woman. All right, she's standing at the door of a car. The guy's windows down. He's an older gentleman. This beast, okay? This beast literally, she hawked up and spit in this man's face. So, I wasn't using wisdom at all. I was super emotional at that moment. Okay, so I jump out the car. I walk over to the dude. I said, "Hey, excuse me, sir. Did she just spit in your face?" He said, "Yeah, she did." I said, "Well, brother," I said, "I can hang around if you want to call the police. I'll be a witness." This bitch looks at me and she goes, "I spit in your face." I said, "Bitch, you spit in my face, I'll knock your head completely off your body." I said, I'll smash you all over this damn parking lot. I said, "I'm not him." I said, "I'll hurt you. I'll fucking hurt you out here." All right. So the situation, it was what it was. I walked away from it. But then when I got back in the car with my son, I said, "Man, I didn't use wisdom on that at all." Okay? Because the scripture tells you not to meddle, all right, in other people's matters, man. And we're gonna go into that. All right. Um, one of the things one of the things I found out, I, once you get in this truth, you really find out how wicked your family is, right? So I got off of Facebook because I realized how wicked some of my family members were, and it really wasn't the place for me. I really don't have time to be on Facebook, no way. But I had a couple instances that made me completely get off of it. I didn't want to. I didn't want to. Involve myself with it anymore. I had younger cousins. Okay, these are younger cousins, female cousins. They're in their 30s at this point, but they were talking on Facebook as if they were texting each other by themselves. Okay, so no shame, right? And so one of the cousins, was telling the other cousins about another guy or guy she just started talking to, and she was like, "Well, he ain't trying to do nothing sexually. He ain't trying to, basically, escalate the sexual tension, so to speak." Now, keep in mind the grandparents, the aunties, all the older folks, all the older generation, they all on Facebook and they can see everything you saying. So the one cousin tells the other cousin, "Just give him some head, girl." I said, "What?" Ain't no point in correcting them. These are grown ass women in their 30s. This is my family. You know, these same little girls, but they grown now and you can't correct them, right? And then lastly, I found out that I had toxic masculinity because I was on Facebook and one of my cousins posted the story about this man who cut his son's hair. Right, so the mother and father weren't together anymore, and the father got the son for the weekend, I guess. And I guess he had been complaining about the length of the boy's hair. The boy's hair is like 3-4 feet long, so he takes him to the barber shop and cuts his hair. And so they put out a poll trying to figure out, was the father in the wrong for cutting his hair without getting the mother's permission? So of course, I'm like, he don't need his no woman's permission to cut his son's hair. That's his son. So immediately, toxic masculinity. That's what they put on there on me. Toxic masculinity. Because I called her a worthless woman. Don't no man need no permission from no worthless woman to cut his son's hair. Toxic masculinity. So with those situations, I got completely off Facebook, right? So, you know, I don't really go on there or anything like that anymore because the scriptures has quite a bit to say about all of these things. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into some of the scriptures. So starting, this is Sirach 11:7. It says, "Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause. neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. Strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not, and sit not in judgment with sinners. It says, my son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing. All right? So you see a woman and a man arguing on the street. It's got escalated. The man getting ready to put hands on this woman. Guess what? You don't know what's going on between that man and that woman. You don't know the wickedness that that woman may have been involved in. Okay? You don't know what's going on in a personal situation. All right? So therefore, you ain't heard the cause. You don't know. You ain't been able to examine the truth. That's their business. Leave it alone. Okay? Meddle not with many matters. Okay? Oh, let me go back to 9. Strive not in the matter that concerneth thee not, and sit not in judgment with sinners. When you on Facebook, right, and they put out a poll, and you answering with the wisdom of the Lord, and these sinners, okay, they not born again. They don't hear the words of the Lord. They don't esteem the words of the Lord. They can read it on a page and say, hey, I don't agree with that, because they're not born again. So what you're doing is, in fact, you're on Facebook and you're sitting, right, in judgment with sinners. That's what you're doing when you give your opinion, okay, of understanding, because you got understanding of the scriptures. You giving your opinion, which is filled with the Lord's understanding, to a bunch of people, okay, who have not been born again and who have not no understanding of the breath. So what are they going to do? They're going to reply in a scornful way, okay? This is Proverbs 14:7. It says, go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of wisdom. You see, when you realize that you're talking to a fool, you got to stop talking to the fool. The Lord tells you. Verse 8, the wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Fools make a mock at sin, but among the righteous there is favor. All right, so the Lord telling you about the personality of the foolish people. The foolish people, man, listen. You can show a woman in the scripture. It tells you that when a man gaineth the wife, he gaineth a possession, a helpmeet unto himself, a pillar of rest. A woman will look at that and say, I don't agree with it. That's just what we're dealing with. This is 1 Peter 4:15. Okay. Another scripture talking about not being in other people's matters. It says, but let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. All right? We're not supposed to be in other people's matters. Again, like I said, this is not going to be a long lesson. Proverbs 9:8. Reprove not a scorner. Okay? Ain't no sense in correcting him. What? Lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. See? See, the wise man is going to find profit or value, all right, in good counsel, okay? Even in reproof, the wise man is going to find value in it, and he's going to become yet the wiser, all right? But a fool is going to hate you and scorn you, all right? And that's kind of, how I felt when I was on Facebook answering the matter. I was answering the matter, from the scriptures, and man, they hated the hell out of me. I said, well, because I had read the scripture, and it's a growing thing. You as you read and you understand, you know, there's certain behaviors you're gonna change. All right, you're not gonna sit in the seat of the scornful or the wicked, or sit in judgment with sinners. You're not gonna do that once you get this truth, because you're nobody understands you. All right, but your brothers. That's the truth. Nobody understands you. Everybody think there's something wrong with you. You weird, because this truth ain't meant for them. So if you got this truth and you understand this truth, you just got to take heed to what the Lord is saying. And in conclusion, this is Proverbs 15:5. It says, "A fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent." Okay. So why did I end with that scripture? Because the Lord just got through telling you. All right. It tells you, strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not, and sit not in judgment with sinners. All right. So don't go back and forth and shit that don't concern you. Okay. Don't involve yourself, all right, in other folks' business. So this has been stay out of folks' business. All right. Hey, my high school teacher said, I don't break up fights. She said they're gonna be whooping your ass until the police come. All right. So stay out of folks' business. All right. If you understand this truth and you're growing in this truth, stay out of folks' business. We just went over some precepts. Now you know. All right. Stay out of folks' business. Mind your business. All right. Listen to what the Lord said. All right. So I pray that this lesson has been edifying. Until the next one. Shalom.